Hello there, fellow educators. I hope you are having a wonderful evening. It is with great honor and pleasure that I get to share the results of this modified lesson plan with you this evening, morning, or afternoon. I want to talk about a couple of balances that we kind of have to toggle with, grapple with, if you will, as educators. We have to figure out how to make things engaging and also make things rigorous. So video versus text versus relevance to real life versus, hey, they just need to read this. It's a tough thing to balance. We also have to balance modifying expectations and lowering expectations. We want to make lessons available for students to be so that every student can be successful at it, but we don't want to make things too easy. And so that's kind of those are the things I've been kind of toggling with as I plan this lesson plan. This lesson plan was centered around the Arizona Standard S1C1P08 for 8th grade social studies, which is to describe 2 points of view on the same historical event. In this case, that historical event is Christopher Columbus's discovery or alleged discovery of the Americas from Spain. And so what students did was they first viewed a clip from a animated Hero Classics children's cartoon about the story using the traditional view of Columbus as a hero, and they compared that to Howard Zinn's text, A Young People's History of the United States, which exposed more of the prickly details, if you will, of how he landed in America and abused Native Americans, etc., etc. Students would then summarize both points of view, and they would, in end, be able to describe 2 points of view on the historical event. Now, let's talk about differentiation. There were a few things that I tried to bundle into this lesson to make students with special needs, to allow them to be more successful. One of those was the cartoon in and of itself. It was designed to hook all students into the basic idea of the Christopher Columbus exploration. The second thing I did for all students was provide guided notes to help them be organized, give them clear expectations and places where they could put their who, what, where, when, why, how in their summary. And a few things I did for students specifically. When we read text like Howard Zinn, we kind of go all around the class and do it. It's called the Control the Game technique from the best-selling book Teach Like a Champion. And so you basically call on students to read, and it's random, and so they never know when they're going to read. And so if a kid is a struggling reader, I usually allow them to read less, but I try to have them read more frequently. So it kind of builds reading fluency. And there's a bigger word that describes the skill of reading out loud, and I forget what that is. My reading teacher would know. Differentiation. There's one more thing. I'm trying to recall what it was. The video, the guided notes, the reading length. Oh, extensions. If a student finished their summary first, they were able to go on to other things, read some additional text about Columbus, and they really enjoyed that a lot. As far as the success of this lesson, not all students learn summary in one day. I think it is something we have to kind of keep going on and on and on. Most kids are able to articulate 2 points of view on the same event, so the standard was met, but also the skill of summary is what I'm really focusing on as well. And so I feel like that's going to take a little more work for kids. Although some of the students with lower reading levels that I never would have expected to raise their hand and get excited about sharing their summary ended up doing it. And it was really a strong culture that day of kids wanting to read their summary and encourage each other for the summaries that they created. And I'm just realizing more and more as a teacher, man, I got to give these kids opportunities to write stuff, to produce stuff, because they get so excited when they do. They don't need to hear me talking, and well, sometimes, but neither do you guys. This has gone on for 3 minutes and 42 seconds. It has been a pleasure. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening. I hope that you're able to garner maybe just a little bit from this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon.